Hello and welcome to Maths with Jacob. This lesson will focus on the parabola. So this slide here will tell you what's going on in this video. I'll leave it on for a very short while. You can pause it for as long as you like while you read it. Then I'll move on to the next slide, which gives us the first 3 verses of the rap song about the parabola. Okay, I'll move on to the first 3 verses of the rap song, and here it is. I'll move on to the next 3 verses shortly. And here are the next 3 verses of the rap song. Okay, and here's the next slide now, which begins the lesson. And the lesson will be in the form of examples. The first one, draw the curve y equals x squared on a number plane. This is the most basic parabola you can get. In order to draw the curve, basically you need some points that lie on the curve. So if you're given, for example, some x values, these ones here, all you do is substitute them into the equation to give you the y values. So let's do that quickly. When x equals minus 2 all squared gives us 4. When x equals minus 1, when you square that you give you 1, and so on when you put each of these numbers in here. So that gives you your points or your coordinates, minus 2, 4, minus 1, 1, 0, 0, etc. And all you do is you plot those points on the number plane, as I've done here. You join them together, and that gives you the nice smooth curve known as the parabola. And the actual where it turns, the turning point here, is actually at the point 0, 0 because of that. And it's symmetrical, as you would know. See that axis there? That cuts it in half. Now if you're asked to draw the curve y equals x squared minus 2, notice the only difference between this one and this one is you have minus 2 at the end. So we still have the same numbers. This time when we substitute them in, we get those points. When you plot each of those points, that's what you get. Okay, so minus 2, 2, minus 1, minus 1, 0, minus 2, etc. Join them up and you get the parabola, but it's moved down two spots. Okay, it's moved down 2 places because it's minus 2. Now the only reason it looks a different shape to this one is because notice the difference between the 1 and the 2 is a lot larger than it is here. But that doesn't matter. You can make up the axis any way you want as long as you have the same distance between each of the numbers. So here we have y equals x squared minus 2, which is the same as y equals x squared, but it's moved down 2 spots. For the third one, a very interesting one, draw the curve y equals x minus 1, x minus 5. Sometimes you'll have the equation in the form of brackets or grouping symbols, and all you do, you take each grouping symbol individually. So take that one there. What x value do I have to put in there to make this whole, to make y equals 0? Okay, well if you put x equals 1, you get 1 minus 1 is 0. So basically, when x is 1, y is 0, so the point is 1, 0. Then you look over here. What x value do I put in here to make that value 0? Well, you put in 5. So that gives us the point 5, 0. So 1, 0 and 5, 0 definitely lie on the parabola. Now the other little trick you can use, so if you plot those 2 points there, 1, 0 and 5, 0, now we need to work out, is the parabola going to look like that, or is it going to look like that? Okay, so all you do, you get the middle of those 2 points. So the middle of those 2 points is 3. That's the midpoint. So you put 3 in here. So 3 minus 1, that gives you 2. So that value there is 2, okay? When you substitute 3 in there. When you substitute 3 in there, that gives you minus 2, okay? And if you multiply 2 by minus 2, you get minus 4. So another point on the parabola is 3 minus 4, which is 3 minus 4. And that tells you that that point is on the parabola, so we know that the parabola looks like that. Okay? That's how you work out whether it looks like that or like that. And here, this is similar to that slide we saw earlier, where we have y equals minus x squared plus 2. Because that's a negative value, okay, that gives us a clue as to the orientation of the parabola. So when we substitute each of these points into there, we get those y values. So minus 2, minus 2, minus 1, 1, 0, 2, 1, 1, and 2 minus 2. You plot those points, and you'll see that that is the parabola. Two things to note. Because it's a negative sign here, the parabola is like that. It's in that orientation. Because it's a plus 2, it moves up. If that was just y equals x squared, it would be here. It would turn at 0, 0. But because it's plus 2, that's where it turns there, at the point 0, 2. So this video has given us a brief introduction to the parabola, and we've seen some examples on how to draw different parabolas by plotting points on the number plane. Let's move on to the next slide. So in this video, by introducing the rap song, I've attempted to integrate mathematics, English and music. If you found this video useful, please click the like icon and let me know your thoughts in the comments section. On the next slide, you can click on the link if you would like to do the worksheet on this lesson. You are also invited to click on the subscribe button.